and welcome to Cox Local Edition on CNN Headline News. I'm Catherine Falk with Cox Communications. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're pleased to have Congressman Frank Wolf join us. He represents the 10th Congressional District in Virginia and is serving almost in his 15th term.
Right.
A powerful member of the Appropriations Committee. Thank you for joining us.
Glad to be with you, Catherine.
Absolutely. I know that you have been such a leader in the anti-gang issues and creating the Regional Task Force on Gangs. Tell us about that and some important news that's come out recently.
Well, we've just gotten additional resources to continue the effort. As you know, we brought in every law enforcement agency in this region and in the Shenandoah Valley with one location with the FBI, DEA, ATF, and the Marshal Service to deal aggressively with gangs so schools and neighborhoods are safe. It secondly also has after-school programs to keep young kids, because they were recruiting up in the 3rd and 4th grade, from joining gangs, and also intervention programs, educational programs, so teachers know what a color means, what hand signals mean. But I think this region is probably doing better than any other region of the country and has become a model for the rest of the nation on how do you deal with violent gangs.
And tell me, why did you get so involved in this issue? Did you see a lot of problems sprouting up in the area?
I did. One night I was coming out of a restaurant fairly close to here, and I saw people with colors on and gang signals, making hand signals. I called the FBI, which comes before my committee. They said, we have a serious problem. And you recall Brenda Paz was taken down to the Shenandoah Valley, stabbed 16 times, and they slit her throat, and a number of other deaths have taken place. So the thought of gangs in this region was sort of just unbelievable, and without getting into some of the other areas, but if I mentioned them, you would know, we just wanted to make sure that we had a safe area because they were aggressively moving here because the economy was good, a lot of money was here. We had very, very violent gangs, so we just had to deal with it. And when they would leave one jurisdiction and go to the other, they didn't follow. Now they're all tied in together.
That's
and that
great.
Makes a big
And
difference.
I'm sure that $4 million in new funding you got will help a lot with the awareness.
For both
efforts.
here and also out in the Shenandoah Valley, correct.
It's terrific. I know that you've also been involved in the Hunger Caucus in Congress, and that's become an increasing issue in our community. Tell us about that.
Well, we have a serious problem here and fractures all over the country. 50 million people, the latest USDA report came out, 50 million Americans go to bed hungry at night, a large number of young people. And in this region, and I've been meeting with the food banks in this region and the food pantries for the last 2 years, most are out of food. Most are in desperate need of food. So we're asking all the schools and all the groups to put on a food drive, not just at Thanksgiving or not just at Christmas when people are thinking, but what about in the cold January? How about February? How about March or April or May or June? And so we're doing that, and I think anyone who really wants to help, you know, the good Lord talks in Matthew 25 about feeding the poor, but sometimes the people you're feeding are people who last year used to drop food by the food pantry are now out of a job and really need help. So I just think it's really important to do everything we can to help the food banks, the food pantries, and to thank the volunteers and the people that are really doing a great job in sort of stocking them up and working in those food banks and food pantries. But they really need help, not just at Christmas time, but throughout the entire year.
Great. And Congressman Wolf, I know you love to hear from your constituents about what they're thinking about, and you also have a robust website with lots of information about food banks and job fairs and all kinds of things. Tell us about that.
We do. It's www.wolf.house.gov, and also the telephone number in my district office, 703-709-5800.
Great. Congressman Wolf, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on Cox Local Edition on CNN Headline News. Have a great day.